Well, thanks so much for tuning into the Trade Setup. I'm Niraj Shah. Good morning to all of you. And it promises to be a heavy morning. Let me just put it that way. That's the qualification because of MSCI changes that have been announced as well. And we'll talk about them towards the end of this segment. But first, what the US markets did overnight, what are some of the charts indicating, what is Asia and India doing? So this is what the US markets did. And again, NASDAQ had an iffy day, but Dow and S&P did reasonably okay for themselves compared to the Nasdaq. So keep that at the back of your mind. There is this whole belief that the tech rotation might well continue, and you might actually continue seeing this. So time will tell, of course, but I'm just telling you what I'm reading it on the global bourses or the global websites, including Bloomberg.com. Now, what is Asia doing? What is SGX Nifty doing? I think we should bring those up on the screen as well for you, just to give you a sense of what the flavor is across the world. So mind you, the optimism might be relatively tempered, if you will, compared to day before yesterday, because day before yesterday night when this vaccine news came out, I mean, everybody was just dancing up and down. And today's session, yes, there is green on the screen, as you can see. Kospi is trading at the day's highs currently. HSI marginally off from the day's highs, but still in the green, but nowhere close to the kind of optimism that we had yesterday, and naturally so. The SGX Nifty will come up on your screen next, and you will see how we are poised to start. Mind you, a lot of it would also depend on how the perceived selling happens in some of the MSCI deletions or the weightage reductions as well, and that could have a big impact on SGX Nifty or the Nifty in the session today. So mind you, while the SGX Nifty is indicating a 0.5% uptick, you don't quite know if that will happen or not. Overall, the MSCI-led changes are positive, but I'll come to the specifics in a bit. Now, keep in mind, I think the one key thing that all of us should keep an eye out for is that India is looking like we are in the overbought territory. There is this chart on Bloomberg.com which speaks about how the 14-day relative strength indices signal that the market may be overbought. India is certainly running hot. If you look at the individual indices as well, whether it's Nifty or the Sensex or the Nifty Bank, levels of RSI close to 75, 76 or 80 do suggest that there is a bit of buying that has happened, which keeps us in the overbought territory. Usually an RSI mark above 70 is considered to be expensive. In some cases, we are at 76. This is what it is showing, right? This is, of course, the Nifty, which is at about 75. The same chart on the Bank Nifty would have shown that we would be at 80. It just shows the kind of buying that has happened into some of these. So let's wait and watch if indeed we blow hot or blow cold. This is essentially my trade setup for the day today, viewers, that we are looking in the overbought territory, and you have to be careful of that. Again, I'm not the expert to suggest that we will correct from these levels, but as we said, these levels do suggest that the levels are high and there could be a bit of a corrective move around the corner. So you should be preparing yourself for it. That's it. Pharma could have a tough day too, and we'll get to that why. First, just very quickly, earnings. Coal India, Power Grid, and Shree Cement all expected to come out with numbers today. Be interesting to see what the two PSUs do, steady movers, or what Shree Cement individually does, because cement companies have just had such a robust quarter. Don't expect Shree Cement to be any different, really. Let's wait and watch. But the key stocks to watch, and I think one at the forefront would be Nifty Pharma, and it's because of this statement from Elizabeth Warren and Tina Smith. Their letter to the FDA suggests that we are concerned. This letter says, I've taken the excerpt from presumably the letter. They said that we are concerned that absent proper oversight of our drug supply chain in the overseas facility, the products that Americans rely on, which are outsourced essentially from countries like China and India, patients could face a risk of drug contamination and other problems with quality, purity, or potency. Now, viewers, nowhere am I trying to suggest that this means that Indian companies are not following the due processes. What I'm trying to say is that could this lead to increased activity on the part of the FDA on inspections? And we know what's that led to in the past. Now, Indian companies may have learned the trick or may have learned the proper processes, and therefore maybe nothing could happen. Maybe it could all happen with China. Again, like I said, I'm not suggesting that this means that there will be violations which will be done by the US Indian entities, which the US FDA inspectors will spot. No, what I'm suggesting is that for the last 6 months, there have been very few inspections done, and therefore maybe even routine things which the FDA clamps down on heavily have not quite hampered the operations of Indian entities. Could that change, and could that be a sentiment negative? That's the question. That's the point that I'm trying to make. That could this be a sentiment negative? Yes, yesterday Nifty Pharma had a terrible day. You never know. This could actually enhance that. Let's wait and watch. Other key stocks to watch. NMDC, they've announced a buyback, 1378 crores. They buy back 13 crore shares at 105 rupees per share. It's at a premium of about 10 to 11% to the price yesterday. NMDC may have a good start in the session today. Let's wait and watch. We all know what HPCL did after the buyback announcement. AARTI Industries, much haloed specialty chemical company. I thought the numbers left a bit to be desired, even though they were above estimates. So revenues were above estimates, 1172 crores, which is actually really strong growth, about 18-19% growth, which is quite spectacular. Net profit was above estimates, but the margin picture was very, very poor, 23.6% estimates. The margins came in at 21%, which is not great. Sales, of course, grew 18% despite price drops, which means that the volume growth was even higher. And that is actually a good thing. But they've not been able to translate into EBITDA numbers, and which is why the EBITDA numbers don't look all that great. And my guess is that the stock could show up maybe a bit of a corrective move. Though I must say that people might be enthused with the volume growth, and therefore the stock could actually have a decent outing too in the session. Let's wait and watch. My suspicion is that it probably will not. BATA, Q2, the revenue at 367 crores, the estimates were 370, so that's largely in line, marginally off. But the net loss of 44 crores is a disappointment. The expectations were 25 crores loss. Margins just at 4.95% versus estimates of 10.7% is a disappointment. I would reckon that BATA should have a corrective move today. Let's wait and watch. INFOEDGE is the other one which came out with really abysmal numbers, really. I mean, if you just look at what they've done, revenues 256 crores, estimates of 278, net profit at 51 crores, estimates of 83 crores, margins at a 20% number, estimates were 35%. A very poor set of numbers for INFOEDGE. Maybe the stock will correct. Lastly, Dixon Tech is the other one that all of us should focus on. The promoter, Sunil Vachani, sold about 47,000 shares on November 6. This is a reasonably large sale, about 400 odd crores, and this will not please the street. So do watch out for Dixon Tech. Could have a slightly tough outing in the session today. Let's wait and watch. Now, last but not the least, like I said, the MSCI move. So what's happened, viewers, is that MSCI announced the results of its semi-annual review early this morning. This was announced early morning, by the way. 12 stocks will be added to the standard index and 2 names will be removed. The net inflows into India because of this, as well as weightage increases and decreases, estimated between $2.5 to $4.1 billion. I have not made these estimates. The sales notes from brokerages vary. They say, some say it's 2.3, 2.4, some say it's 4 billion. So I'm putting it safely out as a range of 2.5 to 4 billion. So net, it's a positive. This will take effect on November 27th, but typically these stock-specific changes that are announced, smart traders tend to take advantage of these earlier. And therefore, I'm just putting out the names that have come in as per the MSCI note of what are the stocks that will get added or subtracted as a result of this. So, yes, I think 12 stocks added and 2 stocks subtracted. So that's the net. So inclusions include a Kotak Bank, Adani Green, Yes Bank, which is a big surprise apparently, Apollo Hospitals, MRF, Ipca Labs, Trent, interesting one yesterday, went up and maybe under leg up today, Muthoot Finance, PI Industries, ACC. So these are the inclusions, the 12 inclusions, the surprise being Yes Bank. Most people didn't expect exclusions, but LIC Housing Finance and Bosch have been excluded, and therefore there could be some negative reactions on these ones. So watch out for these two too. And there are a clutch of names, by the way, viewers. I don't have them as graphics here, but I'll read them out for you. There are a clutch of names in which there have been, there could be possible weightage reductions. The weight decreases have come in for Reliance Industries, HDFC Bank, Infosys, ICICI Bank, Axis Bank. Now, which is why, viewers, I was suggesting that what if the bank nifties run too hard, and because of this weight in decreases, if there's some pause or selling that comes into ICICI, HDFC, etc., could that be a problem for the bank nifty? Now again, Kotak could well have a good day, but I think Kotak has had a good day when the rumors of this MSCI increase first came about. Remember, Kotak had a big sharp up move. So it'll be interesting to see if that happens today again or no. But yeah, watch out for Kotak, watch out for HDFC, ICICI on the other side, watch out for Reliance on the other side. But more importantly, the two names based on MSCI, Yes Bank, Bosch, LIC Housing Finance, three names actually. So you have to keep in mind these three names. They could be active in the session today. But yeah, we'll write a story around this. You can probably try and figure that out via the story, as well as to what are the ones that are expected to react. It'll be there on BloombergQuint.com very, very shortly. But thanks for tuning into this trade setup. Lots of stocks which will react today. So trade safe, trade wise, have a profitable day ahead.